And good afternoon. I'm your friend Scotty Ray as we prepare for a Category 4 hurricane coming in on the coast. Definitely going to be in Louisiana. One of the names that everybody knows from the area that's done weather as long or longer than I have is Stormin' Norman. And Norman, how are you this afternoon?
I'm doing great. How you doing, Scotty Ray?
Man, fine. And I appreciate you coming on. There's a lot of people that are concerned. They've got family on the coast. They're worried here as well of what to expect. And so I thought we'd have you on. Let's go through your forecast of what you think is going to happen.
Well, we was just talking about it. The storm, of course, in the Central Gulf right now, it's about 35 miles east of where it should be. If you look at the path at 10 o'clock that the National Hurricane Center laid down, it's about 30 miles east of that path, which doesn't sound like a whole lot, but it is a whole lot. That can really change a forecast big time, especially for the city of New Orleans.
Right.
If that track continues, and let me say this: hurricanes wobble a lot. They're not a straight line. We tend to think that hurricanes, go from point A to point B. It's a straight line. They wobble a lot. And those wobbles can make a huge difference in the forecast, even though they may be 20 or 30 miles or so. But they could make a big difference in the forecast. But right now, it looks like the storm is going to come in, very close to New Orleans, maybe just west of New Orleans.
Yep.
But right now, I do believe at least the eastern eye wall will be over the city of New Orleans sometime tomorrow night, it looks like. And then from there, it heads north, very close to, the National Hurricane Center has going up the river. It could be just east of there. It could be coming up I-55, somewhere in that area. I don't think it's going to matter a whole lot for us. I guess the good news in all this is that it's moving slow, which means that by the time it gets up to I-20, central Mississippi, the winds are going to die down a lot. It's going to take it about 24 hours to get up here. And so, Katrina, it hit Biloxi or hit the Gulf Coast about 6, 7 that morning. And by 1 or 2 o'clock, it was up here. And so that's a big difference.
Right.
As far as timing goes. But the problem is also the bad news is that it's moving slow because once the weather gets here, it's going to be here a long time. And that's going to induce a lot of flooding, anywhere from 5 to 10 inches of rain, depending on the exact track when those heavy bands set up. And obviously you could have some power outages. I'm not expecting a Katrina type storm where it's just laying trees down left and right and, without power for 2 weeks.
Let me pull up. I've got a map that I put together before we went on. Let me find that that's got the power outage map on that. I want to show that to everybody as we look at that. All right, I found it. Let me hit another button and throw this up on the screen so everybody can see it. All right, I've got that out. And what this is showing, and I know that you can't see from where you're sitting at this point, they've got it widespread throughout the New Orleans, Louisiana area. As you go into southwestern Mississippi, they've got it likely. And then as you go through Meridian, Philadelphia, all these areas to the top of the state as a possible power outage.
Yes, I think really from the Jackson Metro south along I-55, Macomb, Port Gibson, Natchez, Vicksburg are going to see a lot of power outages. They could have, it could be a several-day deal. And further east, just depending on the track, there's going to be some power outages. Like I said, I don't think we're looking at, power for days, probably hours, hopefully.
Right.
In some areas, if people lose it at all. But everybody talks about the wind and, that's kind of the glamorous thing. But the flash flood is what kills people.
It does. As we saw that in Tennessee, 2 weeks ago?
Yes. Yeah, 20 people were, just swept away. And that's what's got me concerned for us, that we're going to have rain for a long time, heavy rain for a long time.
Now, the last count that you got for our area from Lauderdale County, Newton, and up through Neshoba County, what do you think we're looking at, 5 inches or more?
I'm thinking a little bit more, probably closer to 7.
Okay, because I know the National Weather Service earlier this morning was putting it as high as 8. So that fits right in there.
Yeah, and it depending on the exact track as of right now, I think the Jackson metro area really concerns me for flooding. And they could be up to 8 to 10 inches of rain.
And as we look at Jackson, and I pull this up on the radar, let me hit another button here and just show you. In the Jackson area, they got a tropical storm watch, and also a flash flood watch that is in effect for the Jackson. Now, Meridian, our area, Meridian and Neshoba County on up through Kemper, we've only got a flash flood watch at this point.
Yes. I don't think that's going to make a whole lot of difference. I think the weather's going to be pretty much the same. A little bit stronger winds probably in the metro area than over this way. But I don't. I think we're going to experience tropical storm conditions in east central Mississippi also.
Now, and with this, what I've got pulled up on the screen, these are imaginary lines, and imaginary lines are only, what I mean by that. They're only as good as but it puts this through downtown Newton, and it cuts up, takes in all of Neshoba County, and then goes in and takes in Cypress Mills as you go through Kemper County, and then all of Noxubee County, leaving Lauderdale and Clark County out of that. But we want to stress on this. This is going to wobble, as you mentioned when we started, back and forth, and this, although that line is just to the west of here, really doesn't mean a whole lot.
It doesn't. I think the conditions are going to be pretty much the same here. It may be the difference from getting 6-7 inches to 9 or 10 inches, or 40-mile-an-hour winds to 50 to 55. It's pretty much all going to be the same.
As we pull up, of course, we've got some rain showers right now as you get over around Newton. West of there, as you go over through, let's see, going on 20 toward Jackson there, as you get through Lawrence, over at the post office, some rain there. A little bit right there on the Newton-Lauderdale County line there over by Lazy Acres, Christmas Tree Farm, some showers. And a little bit just to the north, and it's not heavy, just north of the Dollar General there in Union. We've got some light shower activity there. Now,
I can see the clouds getting darker out to the southeast.
Now, let's talk about timeline of what you think when this comes in. It comes in, and then our area, what do you suspect when we'll start feeling a little wind and start to feel the rain?
I think tomorrow night after dark, I think the rain. Now, we could get feeder bands starting tomorrow afternoon. These basically bands that are kind of move away from the storm. We could get some of that tomorrow afternoon. And even these showers right here are kind of indirectly from the storm. If you look at the satellite, the flow from the storm is basically coming up through this area already. And so obviously the heating of the day has a lot to do with this, what we're getting right now, too.
All right, we had a question for you from Christy Belk, and I hate to throw you under the bus without you seeing it in front of you, but I'll put it out there and see if you can answer it. She wants to know about Dolphin Island. She has some friends that live in that area, and how much concern should she be for them in the Dolphin Island area?
Well, I tell everybody they need to listen to their local officials and what they're telling them. Somebody asked me, I think they were on the coast, Bay St. Louis, and asked if they should evacuate. And I said, you need to listen to your, what your officials are telling you. If you're under a mandatory evacuation, you need to get out.
Now, I want to say, and let me scroll down and find this. I've got a chart. Here it is that shows the storm surge is going to be at Dolphin Island. Let me pull this up on the screen.
Personally, I wouldn't be on Dolphin Island.
That's your take on it. Get out.
That's my take on it. Yeah.
Now,
I mean,
all of Dolphin Island, we're looking at about 4-foot surge. Now, when you get to Gulfport, this is going to jump to 7 to 11 feet. And that's strong. And then New Orleans, like you said, this could be another disaster for them, 10 to 15 feet. Yeah,
it definitely could be. There's no doubt about it. And also the problem that New Orleans is going to have is the rainfall, because it's going to be moving. Once the storm hits the coast, it's going to slow down tremendously. And I think the pumps in New Orleans can basically pump out like an inch of rain in the first hour, then a half an inch of rain after that.
Right.
So when you're talking about 10 inches of rain or so, a foot of rain, that's not good.
Now, constantly around Meridian today, and I'm going to try to pull up some more cameras, we have seen people flooding to the Meridian area, all the way from Slidell through Hattiesburg, the traffic has just been astronomical of people getting here. I'm hearing that most motels are sold out at this point. And of course, I don't have that in writing, but I am getting a lot of people telling me that have been watching this.
Yes, sir. I'm sure they're Meridian's always a pretty big destination from the coast during evacuation.
All right, and let me pull up the screen here as I just kind of move around the state where the cameras are of what traffic is doing. Let me pull that back up where everybody can watch. Our timeline with this is, and let's talk about safety. What people need to do, what they need to, I guess their list, our area of what they need to have.
Well, my wife fixed to send me to the store to get some water. And so you always need some bottled water, gallon water, gas in the grill in case you lose power for a couple of days, or some way to cook out. And that's pretty much basically it. You just need to be able to, live comfortably if you 2 or 3 days without power. I think that's kind of the worst case scenario for us. I don't see us losing power for, a week or so here.
Right.
But flashlights, that kind of stuff. Same thing, basically, with ice storm. It's the same, it's the same list, basically.
Yeah, and as what I've got pulled up now is an exit at Hattiesburg, I-59 North. Traffic is steady, but it has slowed down from where it was earlier. And I'm going to try while we're talking here to pull up a Louisiana cameras and pull that up so we can look at what's going on there also. All kinds of buttons and don't know how to use them. So the next thing that I wanted to talk about is, and I've brought this up several times, if you own a home and you've got a bunch of trees that are overhanging it, this with the rain being mixed, it doesn't take a whole lot of what I would call wind to throw this down on a house.
Oak trees, especially hardwood trees, yeah. And one thing, too, and what we need to talk about is all the rain we've had this summer. That's just going to aggravate the situation because, number one, the creeks and rivers and streams already pretty, at their tops already. And then plus the ground is saturated, and so it won't take much to bring down trees. Yeah,
that will come, won't it?
Yes. But pine trees are good. Pine trees are tough. I saw those hit during Katrina, how tough pine trees are. They don't break very easily. Oak trees are pretty weak. They come down pretty easily.
Now, what I've got thrown up on the screen is Interstate 12 that runs right there by Slidell if you were to keep going on to the Mississippi Gulf Coast. Now, it's got a lot more traffic than 59 did just a moment. I'm assuming that a lot of people got to their destination that was on that earlier.
I saw that. I believe it's Slidell this morning. It was backed up big time.
Yeah, and let me pull up. Let's go down to Biloxi and let's pull up a picture of Biloxi. I've got a button over here that's got that on it. I'm supposed to. And let's go here and see what the scene is. It's just normal. The water looks. There's nothing abnormal at this point.
Nothing abnormal about it. That's what I was looking at. But that will change.
So we urge everybody to be careful as you're out. I think generators are another item that has gone quick over the last 24 hours also. Oh, yeah. Yeah, and I think a lot of people remember the ice storm and don't want to go through that again, having power, having no power for about a week or so. Now, and what I'm showing for tonight, we just got some light showers, nothing that's going to be serious, and I assume that you second that on nothing to worry about tonight, and it will be late tomorrow. Nothing to worry about. Yeah, it's going to be late tomorrow, closer to midnight probably. Is when, I think by the time Monday morning rolls around, going to work or the schools are open, it's going to be pretty tough. It's going to be a driving rain, and it's going to be a lot of it. Okay. Well, I appreciate you dropping, and we're going to check back in with you as this storm comes, Norm. And I appreciate you taking the time and talking with everybody. Yes, I enjoy it. Just everybody stay safe. All right. I'll be back in touch, my friend. Thank you so much. All right. Thanks, Scotty Ray. Of course, Stormin' Norman there joining us, and we do appreciate that, to tell us his take on what is coming. Somehow or another, I had to go to town a little bit earlier, and I missed the governor. I missed what he said. I shared it on the page, but I did not get to join it live and see exactly what the governor was forecasting. I'll go back and watch that and see if there's anything new that we need to watch on that with the governor. We've got 24 hours. Everybody's done really well preparing for this. We'll be in touch with EMEPA as these storms start to roll in to make sure that we've got the very latest on all of this as it comes. And again, as we go back and look at this picture, it's just beautiful in Biloxi at this point. Airplanes taking off, as you can see in the background there. The live shot there on the beach, people still out there. It hasn't slowed them down one iota at this point. Again, be careful. I'm going to have updates consistently with this. And I appreciate it. If you've got a question, you can inbox me. I'll do my very best to answer it and get you the information that you need. Be safe and be careful. And again, thank y'all for dropping by and spending a little time with us this afternoon. And I wanted to say this. I felt a little under the weather a while ago, and I thought I better go get checked. I went and had the COVID test done. Lord have mercy. Anybody else done that? It ain't getting that $75 back, and that thing is about yay long. And it feels like they take a feather and run it up your nose, and you cannot get away from them. But I come back, there's nothing wrong with me, but I'm around too many people to have taken a chance, and I wanted to be absolutely sure that I was well. I was not moving at full speed this morning. Maybe I just didn't have my coffee right. Maybe that was it. I didn't mix it right. But I'm okay, and I thank you to them, because I thought I was going to have a heart attack sitting there with that little swab thing. It's different if you haven't done that before. And I think there's a lot of people that have not taken the test before. That was my first. Again, thank y'all for dropping by and spending time with me. I certainly appreciate you so much. And we'll be back as we continue our coverage through this and watching everything. Let me say some thank yous to our sponsors that make this happen. They're good folks in our community. Piggly Wiggly of Collinsville, Joe, Lauderdale County Farm Supply, Eastgate Tire Center in Marion, San Marcos Mexican Restaurant. You'll find them in the College Park area. Talbot Enterprise, Downtown House, Mississippi. The Precast Group in Meridian for your tornado shelters. SMI Automotive, see Joe, Sanders Gas for all your generators. Anybody that's looking to have your car fixed, Chet's Paint and Body. Put it back to the way it was in the beginning there. They do a great job there. Along with Why Not Motor Sports Park, Rodney and the gang out there, along with Freeman Tractor, all your tractor and lawnmower parts. Master Flow Plumbing, Sewer, Drain Specialist. They take care of you there from Hattiesburg all the way to the coast there. We're looking at that. Godwin Cleaning Services, a new sponsor, along with Brookdale. Thank y'all for being a part of this. Maple's One Stop Shop, along with Kim's Photography. Also Graphics Guru, Citizens National Bank, your hometown bank. They do a lot for you there. If you need anything, drop into Citizens and they'll help you. EMEPA, keeping those lights on. And Snowden and Company, when it comes time to get yourself a new home. They know real estate and they know it well. From Meridian all the way through the Jackson area. Again, thank y'all so much. And we'll be back with more coverage. We'll be posting as it happens here. I saw this, and maybe somebody can answer this. Did we have a fellow Mississippian that passed away in Afghanistan? Does anybody know that? I saw when I was sitting a while ago, and I didn't get a chance to read it, that the governor had a picture of a military person from Iuka, Mississippi on his page. And I did not get a chance to read that. And I'm not sure if we lost someone in Afghanistan over there. If so, our hearts go out to our fellow Mississippians. Well, all of everybody that lost their lives, but especially if we had somebody real close to home. So if you know the answer to that, post that for me. I'd like to know that, and we'll get that up and going. Teresa Hill, how you doing? And Lord have mercy, have y'all heard about Tooney selling the ticket? What, $500,000 was given away at Tooney's Quick Stop in downtown DeKalb? I think he even done a live last night to talk about it. $500,000. That's pretty good. Oh, Tooney, somebody won that at his store. So that's a big deal for our little area. I'm so proud of Tooney and whoever won it. I have not seen that. I guess that's kind of quiet until they come forward. But that's one of the larger amounts that we've given away, especially in our little area. So thumbs up. If you see Tooney around DeKalb, give him a high five. He's probably doing some pig traps or something important like that. Never know. So thanks a bunch. I'll be back. Thank y'all so much for joining me as we travel and get ready for this hurricane that's coming. A Cat 4 is what we've got, Ida. Thanks so much, and I'll be back.
Scotty Ray's Weather is brought to you by